the 2026 MLS season around the corner, which is this weekend. The three of us are basically putting our reputations at stake because these takes are being recorded. So we're going to have receipts. Everybody can hold us accountable for anything that we say. But we're going to get into it here. From MLS Cup winners to breakout players, we're calling it right now. No fence sitting. We're going to get into it. Let's go to MLS Cup winner. Tones, coming to you first. Who's winning MLS Cup in 2026 before we switch to a European calendar? What do you got?
I went with Inter Miami.
Winning MLS I've heard of them before.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Third year in the league. No. Yeah, look,
why in the world would you pick them, Tones?
Yeah. I don't know. How long do we have? Yeah, I went with Inter Miami.
Yeah, so I did as well. I mean, they won it last year, and I feel like they got better and a little bit younger. And with all due respect to Busquets and Jordi Alba, those guys would get a little bit on the other, well, long in the tooth, as they say. And I just feel like, they're making some great signings and Inter Miami's my MLS Cup winner as well. What about you, Chuck?
I was going to say, who's the desk job image next to Tony on the left?
Well, you know what I was just thinking?
I'm really serious.
Was tasked with finding. Someone said, "Can you go find the 3 worst pictures you could find of our 3 hosts?" Let's just put them all in there right now.
I love it.
Jimmy, I don't know if I can't get over this photo of you.
I
can't get over that photo, but I had Inter Miami. But is that serious?
It is. It is serious.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know where that came from, but I look like I should be maybe a student somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where I should, or working at an Office Depot. That may be.
I can't see. Is that a San Jose jersey on?
No, it's a Kansas City Wizards.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you're serving ice cream.
Hey, you know what? I played an MLS 1.0. We all needed to have a side hustle. Okay, sometimes it's scooping ice cream. You got to do what you got to do. Runner up. I've got LAFC is my runner up. I think that they made some good signings as well. I'm curious. Mark Dos Santos goes from being an assistant coach, where you kind of buddy with the players, to being the head guy. Sometimes that can be a difficult transition, but it feels more of the same ultimately. And I know he got a vote of confidence from both Bouanga and Heung-min Son to stay on and be the guy moving forward. But I really feel like they're going to have a nice run. I'll skip ahead of it. I think they'll be my Supporters Shield winners as well. LAFC, Inter Miami, clearly Jorge Mas, the Mas brothers have come out and said they want to win CONCACAF Champions Cup. They want to win every trophy imaginable, and that's just going to take its toll. So I don't think they're going to be Supporters Shield winners, Inter Miami. I think that'll be LAFC. But Tone's coming to you. What do you got? Runners up and Supporters Shield.
My runners up, I went LAFC.
Man.
And my Supporter Shield, I went the other way. I went Inter Miami, and I know we're getting yelled out for doing 2 categories, but you asked me to. You're hosting,
I did. It's my fault. I'll own it. I'll take accountability. Yeah. Wait, Supporter Shield was what? I missed that one. What'd you say?
Inter Miami. Sorry.
Oh, you went Inter. Okay.
Yeah.
Chuck, what do you got?
Yeah. So runners up, LAFC. I'm with you though. Mark Dos Santos has all the pressure on him because he was unsuccessful in Vancouver. So, they decided to go with someone in-house and Mark Dos Santos as an assistant over like an Ante Razov. I think that was probably the decision between those two, who's going to be getting that opportunity. And it's one thing to be the assistant. It's another thing to run the team. So it'll be interesting to see. But I love the additions that they made as well. Eustachio, I think their midfield needed to kind of be enhanced so they can stop just relying on the counterattack and in transition moments and keep possession. So I think that's a big acquisition for them. And Supporters Shield is Inter Miami.
Okay. All right. I love that. Now MVP. I mean, I know it's named the Landon Donovan MVP award, but I'm sure it'll switch to Lionel Messi MVP award at some point.
Does anyone have
You can't switch
other than Messi?
No way you can switch
I know you can't switch. I'm just kidding. You never know. For marketing purposes, they might want to. But I mean, there was only one 2-time MLS MVP award winner prior to last season. That was Preki. And Messi now is the second player.
But never back-to-back.
But never back-to-back. And now I assume he's going to be back-to-back, which will never be matched. So that's why they're probably switching.
Wrap it up.
All right. So
yeah, hold on. You picked who for MVP?
I got Messi as MVP.
Yeah, I picked Son as the MVP.
Ooh.
Yeah. Son
You
is
don't
the
think
MVP.
he's going to split some numbers with Bouanga, or do you think there's enough of the ball to share?
I think there's enough goals. I think there's enough goals to go around there. I picked Sony for
Okay.
I didn't think they'd go back to back to back. I think they'd spread the love a little bit and do maybe a little bit marketing in the other side of the world. Jimmy,
that's fair.
Did I say that out
loud? Is there let's say, because we all kind of in agreement with Inter Miami and LAFC, is there one team that maybe could break through the noise a little bit there, Chuck, that has a chance to upset the apple cart with those two?
I mean, we talked about it, right? So you got the potential of Nashville, you got the potential of Vancouver, you got the potential of San Diego.
FC Cincinnati, maybe?
FC Cincinnati. So those are the clubs that I think could challenge. But if you're looking at the roster and what Inter Miami were able to accomplish last year, you'd be foolish to say they're not the front runners to win MLS Cup. They're not the front runners for the Supporters Shield, and Messi's not the front runner for MVP because they literally got the Goalkeeper of the Year. They strengthened their back line, which we've countlessly said how vulnerable they are, and then they address the players that they're missing. And then all of a sudden they added Bertarame. So if you're adding one of the top strikers in Liga MX to your squad, how are they not going to level up, if you will? So, we saw them win Supportership with Tata Martino. Mascherano comes in, and then they realize, okay, Supporter Shield is great, but that's not the trophy we want. We want MLS Cup. And to get that, we need a little bit more squad rotation. By the way, there's a Club World Cup in the summer that we have to participate in. So he did, for me, a terrific job of rotating the team and giving new guys opportunities. Yeah. On top of that, come playoff time, the biggest moment for Inter Miami, he makes a decision to give Silvetti the spot on the field over a Luis Suarez. And that could not have been an easy decision. That couldn't have been an easy conversation. He handled it with class. Suarez handled it with class, at least in the public eye, and they were able to win MLS Cup. So that, for me, shows they're ready to take that next step.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty sick. Did you say who's your MVP, Chuck?
Messi.
Okay, so you got Messi, son Messi. Everybody can get a look at that. Just looking, actually, I looked at LAFC's midfield. They're projected. I mean, you got Delgado, Stacchio, and Tillman. It's a really good midfield. Then you got Bouanga, Son, and David Martinez on the right, who I still think is on the precipice of even having bigger seasons than he's had in the past. So yeah, they're really good. LAFC is going to be really good, and that's why I have them as my supporter shield. All right, next four. We got Golden Boot, top scoring American, Newcomer of the Year, and Young Player of the Year. Going to our resident number 9, Charlie Davies. Who's your Golden Boot winner and top? Just do one at a time. Golden Boot winner.
Bertarame. Golden Boot. Okay.
He's just going to get so many dimes from Messi. It's going to be pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, depending if they don't manage Messi's minutes right throughout the year.
That's true. They got a World Cup to balance. That goes for a few
top scoring
good.
American. I'm going to go with Diego Luna.
Diego Luna. Whoa.
How many goals did he have last year?
Just do one at a time, Chuck. We got to get to Golden Boot for me was also Germán Bertarame. Yes. So I'll take him because he's going to get a dunk on that. What do you got, Golden Boot?
I went Son as the Golden Boot.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I just feel like he's going to split goals with Bouanga ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, look what he did last year in his time here, and they were splitting goals, right? They were finding a way. But if you're only 2 that score on the team, then you're gonna have half the goals, right?
Yeah. All right, top scoring American, Chuck. You're ready to go on that?
I said Diego Luna.
Oh, Diego Luna. That's right.
Like Tony said. He's the goal scorer for that team. Everything kind of is on his shoulders. Plus, he's motivated.
How many did he have from last year, Diego Luna?
Did he get to 10? I thought he had.
I don't know, man.
I thought he had 8. He had 8 goals. I thought for sure, like 8 and 8. That's what I thought we talked about in the past.
Yeah, it could be.
Who's your top scoring American?
I went Brian White. I looked the list last year, and on the first page of MLS, they show about 30 guys. He was like 10th or 11th on the list, and he was the only American anywhere to be seen on the list.
Yeah.
And he had 16 goals last year, so I'm gonna say for that he keeps going in that direction.
I'm with you. I had Brian White as well. If he stays healthy, and that Vancouver team, I think he's going to be pretty good. He's going to get a lot of chances. Now, he's not taking pens, so I guess that might change the conversation about who's taking the penalties. I think Thomas Muller will be the guy in Vancouver, but I still think Brian White will be the top scoring American. Newcomer of the year, Big Tones, coming to you.
I went Berterame for me, Newcomer of the Year in Inter Miami. I think it'll be a home run smash. He'll be a hit there. I mean, he's going to be so good for that side.
Okay, Chuck, who you got? Going Herman as well?
No, Newcomer of the Year, James Rodriguez. But
ooh, spicy take.
But
got to be there the whole year.
One under the radar in this same category is Mbokazi, the center back, South African.
That's my guy. That's who I picked. Yes, Chuck. I love that you're thinking center backs. Oh, I see you over there.
I think that signing, Greg Berhalter, might have slipped that one under the radar.
I mean, he's getting a lot of grief, including from his national team manager in South Africa. Like, you could have gone to Europe. Why to go to MLS? He's like, this Chicago's where I want to be. This is where I want to be. I think this is the right next step in my career. He's got a ton of confidence in himself. And Mbokazi, I think, is going to be absolutely sick for Chicago. And they can shore up their defense a little bit. And I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people. So, hey, great minds think alike, Chuck. I like where you're at. Okay. Young Player of the Year. Who are you going with, Chuck?
Brooklyn Reigns.
I knew you were going to go with somebody from the Revs. You knew that he was going to go Revs.
No, you didn't. Absolutely. By the way,
he's good. No, he's a baller. He's a baller.
Did you not watch him play? Okay.
I watched him, and I'm a fan. I'm just saying, New England Revolution alert.
Jimmy, I went Xavier Gozo from Real Salt Lake, kid we saw in the 20s. I think he could be a future superstar. I don't think he's long for MLS. I don't think he's going to make it through the MLS season. I'm surprised they kept him. We talked about it today on Morning Footy. I loved what I saw in the U20s. I love what I saw from him, and I think he'll be part of national team camps after the World Cup for the next cycle.
All right. I like that shout. I like both of those shouts. I'm going Owen Wolff, though. I thought that Owen Wolff, every time I watched him play, we saw him play in person, too, at the Open Cup final. I mean, it seems like he's ready to be the guy, take on the responsibility. He continues to grow in that space. And obviously did it scoring goals, setting up goals. I think he's really honest on the defensive side of the ball, which I appreciate about his game. Now, when you add Facundo Torres, who's coming back into the league after being very successful with Orlando City, and then with a healthy Brandon Vasquez at some point getting back up to 100, I just think it's going to make him even more dynamic, and I think his numbers will be even bigger. So I'm giving Owen Wolff a shout out there. Let's get into our next 4 awards. We got Defender of the Year, Goalkeeper of the Year, Breakout Player, and Biggest Summer Signing. I am going to go first with Defender of the Year. He's another youngster. Mbokazi, he could be in the conversation. He will be in the conversation. But I'm going with Manudua, the young center back from San Diego FC. I just think that he's got tremendous upside. His story is crazy. He played at UC Santa Barbara for 1 season, only played 14 collegiate games, and then was the #1 draft pick for San Diego FC in the Super Draft. And then once he finally got settled and took over at midseason, they just became an unstoppable force. I thought he was really good and made a big impact, and he's only going to grow from there, and scored his first goal for the club against Pumas.
Great shout. Great shout.
So I like that one. Tones, coming to you. Who's your Defender of the Year?
Yeah, I went Mikael, who's on loan from Palmeiras, who went down to Inter Miami.
Yeah, good solid pick. You're Mikael as well?
You did too? Yeah.
All right, great.
I like the Due shout though, man. I like that.
I guess I don't think he's going to be in the league long. That's what I'll say. So I'm curious to see his upside, his growth. You know how some players, you can see it. We went through it ourselves. Like, what's that one season you took your biggest step, you know? And I feel like he continues to take these big steps. So I'm very curious to see how he does in year 2 in MLS and with San Diego FC. All right, Goalkeeper of the Year, Tones, rolling out the red carpet for you. Who's the Goalkeeper of the Year for you?
I went Matt Freese, a World Cup year. Kind of feeling it right now. I was trying to look around the league for somebody else, but I just think in this moment with what's ahead of him, he's going to be hyper focused. And I think Matt Freese wins it.
Okay, Chuck.
I'm going to go with Matt Turner. Because I was just kidding. I knew Jimmy would go for it. I knew it. No, I'm going repeat Dane St. Clair. you go to Inter Miami, he's used to a Minnesota side that bunkered in, brutal to watch. Now he's going to be tested. But to Tones' point, you got a World Cup that's in front of you. You got to come up big. You can't let down, this club. You can't let down Messi. I just think it'll force him to grow, and he'll repeat as Goalkeeper of the Year.
Okay. I appreciate that shout. I'm going to go with the only 3-time MLS Goalkeeper of the Year winner, Andre Blake. I believe he only played 20 games last year. Philadelphia had the best defense. I know they lost a couple pieces, but I think Philly has done a nice job establishing an identity, especially on the defensive side of the ball under Bradley Carnell. And I think that with a healthy season, Andre Blake could be back in the conversation. So I'm going to go with a tried and true professional who knows how to make big saves in big games. All right, breakout player. Chuck, coming to you. Who's going to break out this year in MLS?
So it's literally between these two players, under 17 U.S. internationals, but Jude Terry at LAFC. We saw him at the U17 World Cup. He's a phenomenal player. He's gifted. Or it's Kevin Sullivan. It's for me, it's one of those two young Americans who are going to get time and show that they can perform in Major League Soccer. So I went with Jude Terry just because I wanted to go with a young, up and coming rising star that's an American player. So that's who I went with.
Yeah, I love that. Tones, how about you?
Yeah, I was trying to make my case for Kevin Sullivan. I want to see him play though, right? Like I don't know that Bradley Carnell has faith in him yet still, right? I want to see him play minutes. So I used the easy one. I used him before, Gozo. I think Gozo just takes the next step to becoming, a guy that's really coveted in Europe as a young player.
Yeah, he's the out-and-out number 9 for Real Salt Lake this season. So, yeah, I agree with you. It'll be fun to see his development. Kevin Sullivan did have an assist last night in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, so we'll see how many more minutes he gets as the season progresses. I'm going with the San Jose Earthquakes youngster, Nico Chikeres. San Jose has not made any moves for this area of the field. No Joseph Martinez. No, they lost Christian Espinoza. Chicho Arango is on the move. They brought in Timo Werner, and they've really entrusted and giving the keys to the midfield to Nico Chikeres. He'll be partnered with Bo LaRue, who I thought had a breakout season last year, who's only going to grow, and I think that'll be a nice partnership in that area. But I think Nico could be getting a lot of assists this year if Timo Werner can find his goal-scoring boots. And to get that trust, of course, from Bruce Arena, I think is a big deal. So we'll curious to see how Nico does with that responsibility. All right, biggest summer signing. Like this is like projecting a little bit. Which big name do you think is going to come over and make a splash in MLS? Tones, coming to you first.
Yeah, I texted producer Des. I said, it's like picking a needle in a haystack, right? Because when I saw it, I gave him James Rodriguez. I'm like, this could be the biggest. But I went, this is kind of pie in the sky, but I went Robert Lewandowski to the Chicago Fire.
I love that one. I believe that's the one that I think will happen. If I remember what I wrote to you, Des. So I think we'll have, because he's free. He'll be out of contract in the summer from Barcelona, and there's a nice Polish history for the Chicago Fire. So I feel like that could be a nice destination for him. And then, but my hopeful one is Mo Salah to San Diego FC, since San Diego is owned by the Egyptian billionaire. So I think maybe he could. San Diego too. I mean, if you're going to go feel, your last couple of years of your career, you could do worse than chilling in San Diego scoring goals there. Chuck, what about you? I had a pie in the sky one, but I actually think Lewandowski is going to happen. Big Tones.
Yeah, I went Antoine Griezmann.
Ooh, to where? To where? Miami. That's the only place he wants to go. So they have to create another DP.
No. I was also talking about this with Des. He loves the NBA, and he comes to Boston quite often because of his contract with Puma. So he comes to Boston, goes to a lot of Celtics games. I've seen him at Knicks games. We've seen him in LA. So I could see him at a number of places. I wouldn't necessarily tie it to one club, but I think Antoine Griezmann will come to MLS, and I think it'll happen this summer.
Wow, you're saying potentially Boston?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
That would be
NBA. Isn't the Minnesota Thunder? Aren't they good? Minnesota.
Yeah.
You say Minnesota Thunder?
Yeah, that's
Minnesota,
what Buzz Lagos is coaching the team.
Timberwolves. The Timberwolves.
I mean,
the
Thunder. Yeah.